So I want to welcome everyone here to Kia Training Ground and welcome our friends from Purolator for the kickoff of the annual Purolator Tackle Hunger Food Drive. I want to first off thank our friends here for allowing us to have the opportunity to participate in such a great event. I believe that 850,000 Canadians rely on food banks each month, and I think over the years since 2007, TFC has been fortunate enough to raise roughly over 71,000 pounds of food during the food drive. So again, I want to thank you guys for being here and for giving us this opportunity. You know, at TFC, we're fortunate and lucky to have a facility like this that provides food and meals for our academy and our first team players so that they can perform on and off the pitch. Unfortunately, not everyone has that ability and that experience. So we want to help you tackle hunger, and it starts this weekend with our match against Houston Dynamo. As part of the food drive, the first 450 fans will get a pennant, and we'll have people at the gates collecting the food. And so I encourage everyone and all of our fans and anyone coming to the match to bring an assortment of goods to help during this food drive effort. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Tim. On behalf of Purolator, I'd like to thank TFC and Daily Bread and Steven here today for giving us a chance to get the word out to the great TFC fans about the Purolator Tackle Hunger Food Drive taking place, as Tim said, before the Houston Dynamo game this Saturday. We're going to have upwards of 20 Purolator volunteers as well as Daily Bread food bank volunteers stationed at each of the BMO Field gates, collecting both food, many of the items you see here, and funds. And in return, as we said, fans have a chance to get great TFC prizes, some autograph prizes that some of the players have graciously put pen to paper on. Overall, Purolator, we've been doing this since day one of TFC. This is the 8th year, and it's a great opportunity for Purolator employees to actively engage and give back to the communities where they live, work, and play. And also it gives our employees an opportunity to participate in the great partnership that Purolator has with MLSE and specifically this weekend TFC. On that note, I'm going to pass it off to Gail Nyberg, the Executive Director of the Daily Bread Food Bank, to say a few words on the food drive this weekend.
Thank you, Brian, and thank you to TFC and to Purolator and to Steve for being here and for doing this drive. All of the drives that we do are extremely important, but the ones that we do in the summer months are the most important because hunger doesn't take a holiday, and many of the people who use food banks don't take a holiday, so they're still in need, and many of our regular donors aren't. So it's so important that the fans come down with these most needed items, and then we can top them up with money to make sure that we're giving full hampers in the summer. 60,000 people a month in Toronto use food banks, and that's an astronomical number that should shock all of us. So it's without partnerships like we have with Purolator and TFC, we wouldn't be able to have full hampers. So I want to thank everybody, and I want to encourage the fans to bring food, give generously, to make sure that the people who use food banks in Toronto in the summer months get full hampers. Thank you. And I'd like to turn it over to Steve Caldwell.
Thank you, and first of all I'd just like to thank Purolator and Daily Bread Food Bank for inviting me here to be part of this drive, which I feel is a fantastic thing. I'd just like to say one little point. Tim went that 850,000 Canadians use the food bank, and 36% of them are children. So it's such a great cause. Having young children ourselves, we know how important it is. And I'd just like to ask every fan to please, if they can, bring a non-perishable item to the game, to the gate, and they'll be collected by Purolator, or if they can, maybe a donation. And look forward to a very important game for the team, and hopefully we can get 3 points on the day too.